So here I'm sharing my screen. I won't switch to full screen because I will switch from one window to another quite all the time to show you like features of GitHub and demonstration of how you can use it. So this is going to be a course about Git and GitHub and version control in general. So so I can scale better my exercise and my speech about this thing. I'm gonna send a poll, and I hope that you will answer. So the first poll is about if you ever used HTML and CSS. So it's a yes/no question. And the second question is, what was your role during the hackathon? I think the polls have started. Yeah, okay. Okay, I will wait a bit that people get in the course maybe. Okay, so it's very okay. So there's not much more answers. So the majority has already used CSS. 5 haven't. So I will just try to explain the maximum so everybody can understand the examples I'm gonna use. So, and there was, yeah, it's half more or less designers and developers. Okay, great. Okay, so I'll close this. So, I'd say why Git and GitHub are useful tools as a developer, but not only as a developer, also for designers or for whatever task you need on the computer on a daily basis. I'd say GitHub enables you to track the evolution of a project you make. So instead, you might have already experienced the issue of starting coding or writing a text, and it's mostly coding. And at some point, you have an issue, you have a bug, and it's super difficult for you to find it. And it might happen that you just give up on your project or start it from the beginning again. So Git might help you with that. So the concept, the whole concept is around the commits. So a project is called a repository, and in your repository, you will every time you code some new lines about a feature you want to implement in your code, you will commit it. So you will it's like a timeline, and here you can see it with the purple circles. Every time, for instance, the project starts, you add a list to your project, for instance, in HTML, and then you edit your list, and then like that, you will be able to go back from like one commit to each other to see if there's something that bugs, or if you prefer the previous version or anything. So you keep control of the timeline of your project. That's the first um, that's the first feature of GitHub. So it's a bit complicated to understand like this. So I will directly go to an example of code, but I will use very basic HTML and CSS to explain it. So I directly go to the GitHub desktop, and here I will create a new repository. So a repository, basically, it's a folder on your computer where you will put all the files you need to make your project happen. So I will call it code week test, and just like that, I create my repository. So basically, this repository, as I said, is a folder in your computer. You will put all the files you need, and what you want from this repository and this GitHub is to track your modifications and edits. And it will be your job to say, okay, I made this evolution in my code. I want to like make like a save of it. So I created this repository. Now I want to open it in my uh, code tool. So I use Visual Studio Code, but it can be anything. Whatever you use as a tool to code, it's recognized by GitHub Desktop. Okay, so I opened the folder in my code tool. So now I create a new file which will be called index. Sorry, I had someone talking. I create a new index.html where I will put just the basic introduction of HTML. So this doesn't really matter. I have the poll results. Okay, I'll just wait a few seconds. Okay. Just okay. So here is the basic HTML file. I will just put a title. So title in HTML, it's a H1. I will just put hello world and save it. Now I go back to my GitHub desktop application, and I will see that in my folder, a file called index.html has been created, and I can see like all the content I've been putting in. So this will be my first commit. So I will put a name on it. It's very important. It's very important to put some understandable names so your teammates sometimes can really easily find what you've done at what time. So I will put initial, let me commit, and I will commit it to main. So basically what I've done here, if I go back to my visual, is that I created this project start commit. Now I want to add, let's say, a list to my file. So I go back to the editor, and here I will put a list. List in HTML is between tags UL and LI. It's a bit special, but it's not that difficult to understand. I have voices in the back. I don't know what happens. Okay. Mhm. And let's say yellow. Okay, I save it again. So I added these lines to my file, and what I want to do is see the evolution. So GitHub instantly detects my modification. It says that between my former line 10 and 11, there's these lines that are new. So what I'm going to do is say create a new commit saying added list, and I will commit it to main. So now I go to the history and I can see what has happened from now and before. So there's this first commit. So the first one is happening twice, but it's no big deal. And here, so I can, if I think that now it's not what I want to do, I can go back to that previous commit and make it happen better. Okay, so if I go back to the course, what we did here is create a commit for the project, added a list, and now I can edit the list or whatever. So basically here you have the key to keep a control on your project, but it's a bit limited because it's only a one direction control. For instance, if you want to keep your project safe and healthy and working, but you want to try some new features on your project, what you can do is create a branch. So that way you have your main project here. And then at some point I say, oh, well, I want to try this feature without breaking my project and being able to switch from my experimental branch to my main one without breaking each other. So what I'm going to do is create a new branch. And then on that branch, I will add my features, do whatever I want, and then see if it works and even share it with the, for instance, teammates. And then you can decide to merge it at some point with the with the main branch. So how do you do that in GitHub? GitHub, you go to the changes, and then let's say, no, I go to the code. So I committed my last modification. So now I just have to do whatever I want. It's saved from this point. So for instance, I want to add a file. So to add CSS. So I create a new file. I save it as style.css, for instance. And I will put some color. The WebEx thing. Okay. Some color to the title I created before. There's shortcuts that are command to WebEx and IDE, so it's a bit of a problem. Okay, it's gonna be fine. And color, and let's say the title will be red. So before I save it, I can show you live what's going on. So yeah, I created this hello world title with the list blue, green, yellow. And now I created a style sheet that will tell that the title is red. And I have to, okay, I have to tell my file that that I'm using the CSS thing. So style.css. And if I save, normally, yeah, I get my title red now. So, but this modification, I don't want to put them on my main thing, because let's say I'm experimenting something. So what I'm gonna do is create a new branch. So to make it happen, I will click on the branch tab here on top and new branch. So let's say CSS added CSS, and I create that branch. So this is an important thing you have to decide. So I was on my main branch and I made some modification. What I want to do of this modification, since I want to make a new branch, do I want them to be on the main one, or do I want them to bring them to that new branch? So what I want to do is to bring them actually. And now what I have is actually this. I have that new branch with that add CSS file. So I have to commit my change. So added CSS, and I committed to that new branch added CSS. Okay, that's a bit of a basic example, but you have to imagine that when you do whatever code, app, website, it can involve like thousands of lines of code, and you don't want to lose like the work you've done. So it's very pertinent to make maximum, not say the maximum, but the most pertinent branches for specific features you want to add or experiment you want to do on your project. So here I'm at this level. And let's say, okay, I shared it with my team. We all decided it's cool. We wanted this title to be read, and it seems. Someone with mic on. Okay. Um, what I want to do now is, so with my team we decided that we want to add it to the main branch. So the third key point of Git is to merge that brain to the main. So instead of keeping working on the parallel branch, I will put it back in the main. So how to make it in GitHub desktop? I go back to my main branch, and then I decide to compare the branch, and I see that on that, oh, wait. No, I want to merge this. So merge this added CSS in this main branch. So I go to the main branch, and then I merge into current branch. I select this new thing. GitHub tells you that it's fine, that there won't be some issues merging it, and then you can merge the commit. Okay, now I'm at this level in the course. I don't have this parallel branch working anymore, because I agreed that it's fine that it incorporates the main branch. So I'm back to this simple one branch thing. So I go back in the slide. So you can, the first concept is really to make commits. So every time I do something, I make a commit about it. if I want to try stuff and to don't lose my work and risk to break it, I make a new branch with commits on it also too. And when I'm sure these edits, I want them to be on the main, I merge. So these are the three words: commits, branches, and merge. Branch and merge. Okay. So here I showed you here I show you an example of um, of how it's used with code, which is like 90% of the use of Git and GitHub. But you can also, as I said, use it with like Photoshop files. You make a first version of your file. For instance, you send it to a client. He says that he wants this modification. If you do it without Git, you will override your work. But with Git, you will be able to go back and on your work and make the edit that maybe he wanted 2 hours before. Okay, and it's the same for PowerPoints and so on. So it's quite powerful. It's quite powerful for that, and it's very, I'd say, interesting to try to incorporate it in your day-to-day work life, whatever your field of competence, as long as it's on a computer, I'd say. Yeah, and the types of usage. So you can use it like alone when you work alone on your project, but it's super pertinent to use it as a team. Like this, everybody with the GitHub platform will see what you did. You can get you will centralize the work in the cloud, so everyone will be aligned with the latest version of what
Le
you do.
navire particulier ne se dirige pas vers la Grèce et n'a pas.
Caroline, okay, and then also a thing that is very common on the development um, development development on the development on the internet is that people participate to like open source project. So what they do is like there is a very big project happening, people like it, and they're not from the team, but they can retrieve the code on their computer, maybe want to enhance some aspect of it, and then they can uh, suggest their progression to the author of the project. So these are the three types of use as a person you can have of GitHub. Then I told you about GitHub Desktop. So GitHub Desktop is the application for your computer, but it's based on the GitHub platform. And GitHub platform is a website on the internet where you will be able to find all the things you've done. For instance, if you change computer from work to home, you will find your code. You will find your code there again, and so on. So um, maybe to go a bit further, I will ask you to sign up to GitHub and to download the GitHub desktop. So maybe it will take you up to 5 minutes. So yeah, let's have a break now, and we go back in 5 minutes so we can go together for an exercise. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes now, and I see that 17% already. Are there some people that need some more time to wait, that I wait before we go ahead? Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is that I will ask you to make a simple exercise from what we just saw. So here are the steps you need to do to get back the code of. Okay. And yeah, so what you need to do now is to go to that page, and I can copy paste it in the chat if you want. And then what I will ask you to do is to fork the project. So you basically make a copy of it on your GitHub account, and then once you've done that, fork is on top right of the screen. So yeah, it's already forked. So once you've done that, you can click on the code button and open it with GitHub Desktop. And once you run the GitHub Desktop, for those that think that can go ahead and do these steps of doing what we've done before, so such as creating a new branch, edit the color to, for instance, blue in the CSS file, and then commit the change on the branch you created, and then publish the branch, then create a pull request. That way, as soon as you will hit the pull request button, I should be notified with the notification that tells me that okay, someone got your code, he made those edits, he thinks it's pertinent to add to the main code. Do you want to add it to the main code? So if you want to go ahead and try, yeah, the process. So from the beginning. So you go to that URL. Once you're logged in, signed in, and then that you download GitHub Desktop and installed it and launched it, you go to that URL, and then you fork the project. So fork it will make you make a copy of the project on your GitHub account, and then you will be able to click the code button and open with GitHub Desktop. Then you will see, if you go to the tab, you will see that what happened to the whole project since the very beginning of it. And then if you want to edit it, if you already used a software to make it editable, or if you don't have, you can course, yeah, and here on the computer, so you can edit it with whatever you want to. On the Mac, it's difficult, but on the PC, you can use the block note to simply edit the file. And then once you made it, you create a new branch, and you make a commit with that evolution you've made.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Because my internet is a little so slow and GitHub Desktop does just download it.
Mhm.
Is there any tutorial on YouTube? Do you have a link so that I can watch it also later?
There's a lot of tutorial, but I noticed that when you log in the first time on GitHub, there is this, and it's very, very it's very good. It's super good. It explains step by step all the process. And
Okay, okay.
on YouTube, there are many developers showing you this process.
I'm sure I asked if you have a link, but since that tutorial in GitHub is very good, I will look that. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
But if you look for something on the YouTube, I would recommend you to look for like quite recent tutorials, because GitHub evolved a lot for the past few years. So you might find some outdated informations if you go for before 2020 and stuff like that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you.
Once you fork the project, you might have that which one window open with the green button code, and then you can open it with GitHub Desktop directly. It's just HTML and CSS. You should find a CSS file in here that is called style.css. And the point of the exercise is just to change the color in the style.css file. Tortoise Git, it's another client, it's different. I don't know this one. Maybe you can, before clicking, the browser will ask you if you want to choose another client if GitHub desktop is installed. And once you made just the modification in your file, you go to GitHub desktop, create a new branch. For instance, I don't know, swap color. You create a new branch, you bring your modifications, and on the tab changes, I'm on two GitHub accounts in the same time to show you the exercise. So sometimes I have some bugs like that. But if I open it here, yeah, okay, I will see that the red color is in the style.s.css, and I can just change it, for instance, for green, for instance, save it, and now I will create a commit that says change color to green and commit it. Now, what you want to do is to publish the branch on the GitHub platform, so it goes on the internet. It's not just locally now. And once you're okay, yeah, I'm connected with different accounts on the same computer. I have this kind of issues. How can I do that? How can I do that? Oh, it's not good. And then actually there's just one last step. So after you made it up, after you made it publish, you shouldn't have this bug. You just have to click on the create pull request. Dora, is your message on the chat? I don't know how to fix it on your computer. Maybe after the course, I can show you how to make it happen. Maybe on a share screen call. And then the last step will be the last step will be the it's broken now. Okay, not good. Oh, that's not what I want. This exists. Okay. Yeah, I have an issue because of too many different accounts. But I can tell you how it should happen. So here you need to click once you made your new branch, you published your new branch, then you will be able to click a button that is called create a pull request. And then you will have a browser with a form. You just put a name on it and you click send the pull request. And if you have issues to reach that point, let me know in the chat. Okay, I see that Matei managed to make it happen. That's great. That's great. So I can see what Matei. So I can see that I click on the pull request. So I see that Matei had a commit color blue, and he actually changed the color for it. And what I can do as the leader of the project here, I can accept it if I'm connected on the good one. No, I'm not connected on the good one, obviously. I can decide that, okay, what did the Matei seems great. All I want to do is to put it in my main project. So all I will have to do is click that button. And then we made a co-working thing on GitHub like for the first time. So it's very interesting, like in your team like that, you can make improvements, like breaking the main code, helping each other, starting to work on your thing, on your feature, on your side, and then show it to your teammates so they can merge it in the actual project. So I don't know if other people will manage to reach that point, and not yet. But yeah, here I made you like an example and demonstration of the core main important feature of how GitHub might be very powerful for a teamwork, but also on your own. So don't mess up with your code and then share it on the internet. Then it's on the cloud. You can access it from anywhere, and then yeah, have this code pull request branch thing working together to make a project that like happen without giving up on the many issues of breaking the codes, of sharing like by mail or whatever the code. It should be in the yeah, I have creative mind now. Yeah, good, great. Yeah, exactly. Great. Yeah. Okay, why did it disappear? Okay. Why am I good account? Okay. So yeah, does anyone reach that point and think that he managed to create a pull request? How do you send it? How do you send what the at what step are you, Nikos? Okay, and you hit you send it the pull request. You can't create it. Maybe now that I accepted um who, I don't know who again. Maybe that the modification are redundant. So now there's the same level of code. So if it won't show me the pull request since you want to push the same results. I shouldn't have accepted it. I should have let it in the pull request thing. Okay, okay, it's here. Actually, no, I should, as creative mind could do it. I think you should be able to do it. What's the message error you get? Yeah. So what you forgot to do in the process is to create a new branch before making your edits. You made your edits directly on the main branch. So I can't merge main with main because they are the same branch. So what you probably forgot to do is in GitHub Desktop, when you got the project on the application, you had to create a new branch here or here and make and you can put your name or whatever. So paste here, create the branch, make your edits in the code, save, commit it, and then you can publish it, and then you can make a pull request. So here are all the steps you need to do for the exercise in this. So yeah, if you forget a little step at some point, it might put you into issues. Yeah, I have another one here. Great. That's good. That's good. Perfect. Is there people still trying to make it now, or people being stuck, or everyone that wanted to try finished it? Except Dora that has an issue with the application on our computer. Yeah. I don't know how to help you like this. I will need a one-on-one call, or maybe you can share your screen. I don't know what are the rights on WebEx. It's a bit difficult. Okay, so now we made we explored the very main now possibilities of GitHub, but GitHub is a whole world of information and stuff. So you can basically find, if you're looking for any like part of code, every single project that you don't want to start from scratch, you can just find look for what has been existing on the internet. Like I don't know, like um, conference call app, for instance, on all GitHub. Oh, conference, if I write it back, all GitHub, you will find a lot of repository of people that made their call and made it public, and that you can just fork it exactly that, like the way you did it with the small code I did. And then you can fork it and make it like your own, as long as you respect the copyright of the owner. And then you can, yeah, tweak it into what you need. So sometimes it's like a few lines of code that you need, but sometimes people make a very good base to develop what you need. So it's very interesting at the beginning of a project when you have a good idea to look around in the internet, what has already been done. So you can just see, maybe just see how they did it, or maybe just start from what has been done by other people. And then once you're a team, you can work as a team like on the same project. So you can create a team inside GitHub, and then between you can create issues. So you can like tag your friends, so you can tell them, hey, on this branch there's that issues, on this commit there's that issues, can you fix it or whatever. It's very, very strong. It's just a base for anything you need for a web project or an application or whatever later. So yeah, I think we explored the main features and the main possibilities to do with GitHub. So I would like to know if you have some question. Okay, how do we change it? I have made the new branch, but it doesn't let me edit the code. You created a new branch, okay? So you have a software a program to edit code, such as Visual Studio or whatever. If you don't have, you can, once you're here, you can open show in Finder, or on Windows, it might be Explorer, the folder where there everything. So you can just easily open it with whatever you want, and then save it. Like for instance, here I go for yellow, and I save it, and now I was not on the good folder, obviously. Okay, shouldn't find there. Okay. You can do it manually like this. You change the thing, and it should pop here once you saved it. I hope this answered your issue, Kirkalas. So yeah, I think we explored everything. I was wondering if you had any question or on how to use it or other question. So I will stop the share screen. Matthias, maybe you want to jump in?
Yeah, so if there's no further question, and if you have question after the training, you can always contact us, the organizers, either through the emails or on Discord as well. If you have questions for this, we will deal with Guillaume. But thank you very much, Guillaume, for giving this interesting training, and thank you for all of you joined the training. We will have the third and final training next week on Tuesday on Flexbox. It's going to be a bit more technical, so if you're not that much into the development process of the hackathon, it might not be for you. You're of course more than welcome to join it anyway. But once again, thank you very much, Guillaume, for this training. Thank you all of you who participated. Good luck with the further development of your projects, and have a nice evening, everyone.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you, everybody. Good evening.